Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about lesson 2 of unit 2, which is talking about the accompanied forces with the motion. Now let's start by the inertia. The inertia is a property of an object to resist the change of its phase as it from rest or motion. For example, when the car move forward suddenly, the passenger are rushed backward. This is due to inertia. We have another example that when the car is moving and suddenly the brakes is applied, so the passenger are rushed forward, and this again is due to inertia. We have the last example when a football player is running with high speed, then he is trapped by another player, so he will rush forward and fall on the ground. This due to the inertia. So the inertia is a property to resist the change of the body phase from rest or motion. So the inertia resists the change in motion and the change in the rest. Now we will talk about the second type of accompanied forces with motion, which is the friction force. You have to know that the friction force, it is the resistance force between any two bodies, body in motion and the medium touching it. So the friction force, it is a force that always act in the opposite direction to the direction of the motion. Uh, so when the friction force increase, the speed decrease. When the friction force increase, the speed decrease. So we can say that there is a inverse relation between the friction force and the speed. Now let's talk about the benefits of friction. You have to know that the friction help us to walk, help the car to move forward, help the car to stop, help us to burn the match. So all of these are from the benefits or the friction force. Also, the friction force prevent us from slipping on the road because the friction force fix or give us stability on the roads. Now let's talk about the harms of friction. You have to know that any machine has engine or motor. It consists of internal moving parts. So when this machine is operated for a long time, so this means this internal part is moving so long time. So the heat energy will increase due to the friction. So the internal moving parts will damage and be corroded. So we have ways to reduce the friction force is to lubricate and oil the machine parts. You have also know that the car tires are covered with very coarse substance so as to increase the friction force. The car tire have coarse material to increase the friction force like as our shoes. Finally, we need to talk about the forces inside the living organism, which is called the biological forces, like the contraction and relaxation of the heart muscles. Contraction and relaxation of heart muscle help the heart to pump the blood all over the body. Contraction and relaxation of muscle help the body to move and transfer the liquid from soil to the plant as a force, and the transference of liquid is moving against the force of gravity. Finally, you have to know that if we have two beakers contain salty solution, but one of them contain more salt than the other, so the concentration is high in one of them. And we connect the two beakers or the two cups by a semi-permeable membrane like tissue paper. So we will observe that the liquid will move from the low concentration to high concentration so as to make equilibrium between the concentrations.